2020 day is here. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Angelique Lazardi. It's primary election day here in Pima County and several seats are up for grabs tonight. For a closer look at the race in Pima County, News 4 Tucson's Priscilla Casper standing by in the News 4 Tucson Election Center. Priscilla.
Well, Angelique, in the race for one of Arizona's U.S. Senate seats, Republican Martha McSally is running up against Glendale businessman Daniel McCarthy. Now, McSally is the incumbent. She was appointed by Governor Doug Ducey to replace former Senator John Kyle, who was appointed by the governor to fill the seat left vacant after John McCain died in August of 2018. McSally served 2 terms in the House of Representatives from 2015 to 2019. She lost a Senate race to Democrat Kyrsten Sinema in 2018. McCarthy runs a real estate company and he serves as a precinct committee man in the Republican Party. Now, the winner will take on former astronaut Mark Kelly in the general election. Kelly is married to former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. Now, another race we are keeping a close eye on is a Pima County Supervisor District 1. Allie Miller is stepping down at the end of the year. So check this out. 6 candidates are running for Miller's vacant seat. 2 Democrats. It's Brian Radford and Rex Scott, and 4 Republicans, Bill Beard, Rhonda Pena, Steve Spain, and Vic Williams. And in District 5, there are 3 candidates running to fill the seat that Richard Elias held from February of 2002 until March when he passed away. Adelaida Grijalva is considered the front-runner in this race. She is the daughter of longtime Congressman Rahul Grijalva. Adelaida has served on the TUSD school board since 2002. Now, she is running against Consuelo Hernandez, who has served on the Sunnyside Unified Governing Board since last year. On the Republican side, retired business owner Fernando Gonzalez. In the race for Pima County, Sheriff Mark Napier is trying to keep his job, but he has got to get past the man that he actually replaced, former Sheriff Chris Nanos, who is now running. And then you have Kevin Kibitsky is the other Democrat in the running. He's a former Marine who served more than 20 years with the Pima County Sheriff's Office. And then lastly, for Pima County Attorney Barbara Lawal, she is retiring after 24 years in that position. So there are 3 people running to replace Lawal. They are Democrats, Mark Diebold, a 23-year prosecutor, Laura Conover, a local attorney, and longtime attorney Jonathan Mosher. And of course, there are other districts that are in the runnings as well. We have everything on KVOA.com, all of the candidates running in the primary election. Of course, we will update you throughout the night on air, online, and on your mobile device. Angelique.
All right, Priscilla, thank you so much. And of course, News 4 Tucson will have the latest team coverage all night regarding the primary elections. We will have a live team coverage. News 4 Tucson's Mark Mingura, Eric Fink, Danelle Comfair, live across Tucson with results and everything that you need to know about today's primary election. Right now, let's begin with the Senate and congressional races. A lot is up in the air with many new faces running for office. That is where we find News 4 Tucson's Mark Mingura, who is joining us live from the Republican Party headquarters with the breakdown. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Angelique. And the Republican Senate nomination is between incumbent Senator Martha McSally and newcomer Daniel McCarthy, who comes with a background in real estate and cosmetic products. Now, as you may know, Martha McSally originally lost a race to Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema, but then appointed by Governor Doug Ducey after previous Senator John McCain passed due to cancer. John Kyle, of course, replaced him, resigned later the same year when McSally ended up being appointed to the post. Now, she was also endorsed by President Trump in June of last year, and after attempts to reach out to McSally's party, she was not made available to us today. Now, as for the congressional district Republican candidates, in District 1, Nolan Reedhead is a native of Payson, Arizona, and says he would restore voices of rural areas in Arizona and defend our constitutional rights. Opposing him is Tiffany Shedd, who is a farmer, attorney, and firearms instructor who strongly supports the Second Amendment. In District 2, 3 Republicans are running in the primary. Joseph Morgan, a native Tucsonan who was a conservative columnist for the Daily Star until he announced his candidacy. Norrin Rudin, also native to Tucson with a background in business, says his 25 years of experience will help to benefit the economy. Brandon Martin, an 11-year veteran of the U.S. Army Reserves and a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. In District 3, Daniel Wood is a former Marine running unopposed in the primary elections. Now, of course, we'll have more results and these results as we get to the 10 o'clock show. For now, Angelique, send it back to you.
Mark, thank you so much for that update. Now to the Democrats. News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink is live at the PIMA County Democratic Party headquarters tonight with the latest on Democratic candidates vying for the U.S. Senate and congressional seats. Good evening, Eric.
Good evening there, Angelique. So the biggest down ballot race here in Arizona this fall will be the race for U.S. Senate. And in just a little under an hour, it's widely expected that Democratic candidate Mark Kelly will be declared the Democratic nominee. And then will begin a 90-day general election campaign to November 3rd. Polls at this point show Kelly leading Senator McSally by outside the margin of error. Some polls have him up double digits. The Democrats are trying to pick up a Senate seat here in Arizona, widely considered now, for the first time in more than a generation, a swing state on the presidential map as we head into the fall. I spoke with Kelly a little while ago over Zoom. He says the pandemic has no doubt changed the campaign, but not the focus. He says he will be an independent senator for Arizona.
Somebody who can work with both Democrats and Republicans to try to solve some of these incredible challenges we're dealing with. We've got a public health crisis and an economic crisis and a crisis of leadership. But we're only going to solve the public health and the economic part of this if we work together as a team. So we've got to stop the partisanship. We've got to stop also.
On the congressional side tonight, incumbent CD2 Congresswoman Ann Kirkpatrick will go up in the Democratic primary against Peter Quilter. He has a national security background. In CD3, longtime incumbent Raul Grijalva is running unopposed. He will be on the November ballot. He is in Washington in quarantine after testing positive for COVID-19. And in CD1, Tom O'Halloran, he will go up against Eva Putsova. We'll be back at 10 o'clock with more from Mark Kelly and some results. We've got you covered from the Democratic headquarters. Live here in Midtown, I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
Eric, thank you. Let's continue our team coverage of the primary election in a unique election day being in this pandemic, with candidates working to get voters to the polls and some holding their campaign parties virtually this time around. News 4 Tucson's Danelle Confier joins us live from outside a polling location at Temple Emmanuel, located in Midtown. Danelle.
Angelique, it's a historical day for voters asked to wear a mask and social distance when voting. It's especially different for those on the campaign trail, having virtual campaign parties held on Zoom or Skype. Now, we spoke with one volunteer at this polling location who says turnout has been lower, but they were expecting that. Their hopes is the majority will have mailed in their ballot on time. Not everyone voted by mail, though. We spoke with one man who said he wanted to make it out today regardless of the pandemic.
No precautions were going to be taken. I know there's going to be distance, and there's nobody else really here. There's a trickle of people coming in, so I feel pretty safe.
Now, coming up tonight at 10, we show you a recap of the virtual campaign parties and recap the 2020 primary election. We've got you covered from Midtown. Danelle Confier, News 4 Tucson.